Which new vehicles will the developers introduce to players in the 8.7 update?
We will add a new branch of British SPGs in the 8.7 update. 9 new vehicles from the 2nd to the 9th tier.
What are the main features of the British SPG branch?
The 10th level artillery unit has a relatively short range, but a very comfortable trajectory from its 233mm caliber gun. On the 7th tier, we introduce a uniquely British feature. This SPG is actually faster when reversing than going forward. The 6th tier British artillery unit, based on a light tank and has high mobility. Its firing range is shorter, but this is compensated for by its higher trajectory. The tier 5 SPG is very durable compared to those of other nations, while the tier 4 is equipped with a rotating turret. The British tier 3 self-propelled gun is similar to the American Priest of the same tier. The only difference is a lower caliber gun compensated for with a higher rate of fire. And finally, the tier 2 vehicle will delight players with its great horizontal gun traverse arc.
Can any of these vehicles use HESH shells?
No, the SPGs do not get HESH ammunition. They get the usual premium shells with a higher burst radius.
What do you need to change the T-52 to the Tier 6 tank MT-25? What is in store for owners of the T-52? Will there be other similar replacements in the future?
Well, we are changing the T-52 to the new MT-25, mainly due to historical and logical reasons. The actual characteristics of the T-52 wouldn't allow it to perform in real life the way it can perform in the game. It wouldn't have such a high speed or such great agility, which is why we're changing it to another experimental Soviet tank, the MT-25. Its characteristics will be closer to the historical prototype. The tank MT-25 will be added as a replacement of the T-52. The owners of the T-52 will have their tank replaced by the MT-25. Probably we'll be making other replacements in the future, but we're not planning to do any in the next few patches.
Will there be any premium vehicles in the 8.7 update?
Yes, we will add a new German Tier 7 TD, the E25, in the 8.7 update. It will be available for purchasing in the game store. Also, it's worth mentioning that we will not be adding the Chinese Tier 8 heavy tank 112 in this update. We believe this vehicle is not quite ready for release and will need some more time for final balancing.
Will there be updates to maps? Are there any new maps?
Yes, in this update we're adding one new map. This Soviet winter map is a mixed type map. A number of buildings occupy the central part of the map. In principle, it will be suitable for all types of tanks, for mediums, heavies, lights, SPGs or tank destroyers. All vehicles have their use on this map. This map has a surprise at the very start of the battle. As the timer ticks away the last seconds, you'll notice the unusual positions of the tanks. Teams are divided in two, with each group having a different task. The first group captures the enemy base, while the second defends your own. There are two direct routes to the enemy base. The first way is by the hill, the second goes through the city. The hill is better for heavies and tank destroyers. Here you meet your enemies face to face. Capturing the hill gives a significant advantage. Those who manage it will be able to fire on enemies in the city or on the other hill at the opposite side of the map. It's worth mentioning that you should move cautiously here. Make use of the cover to protect your flanks from enemy vehicles. The middle of the map is another important area. The buildings provide excellent cover, and the dry stream is a route into the enemy's rear. You can also drive through the foothills. Enemies will not be able to fire on you from the hill, and your flanks will be covered by the numerous buildings and stones. Medium and light tanks will feel right at home in this area. They can assault the enemy base or open a third battlefront in this area. Artillery has a great time on this map. You can engage enemies all over the map, but you will need to move. For example, from CO or JO, you'll be able to fire on enemies at the hill through the third line. It's more comfortable to shoot at the hill through the 8th line from the A1, K1. There are many places where you can hide. There are spots where enemies can only find you if they get really close. All in all, we can say that the map Severogorsk creates an active struggle from the first minutes of battle. Attack your flank, help your allies on the other one, and look for opportunities for a breakthrough. These are the keys to victory.
Can you share any information about the 8.8 update?
We will add a new branch of Soviet medium tanks in the 8.8 update. It consists of 5 vehicles with the Object 430 as the top tier tank. I think it will be an interesting and unique vehicle in its own way.